This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by
Mattress Firm, our premier mattress provider. They provide a 120-night sleep trial, so if your mattress is not perfect, they will pick it up and find you a new one. Save 10% off your order with code MMANUTS10. All 33 meet your new work chair. Get active, be active, and sit in motion all day, relieving your stress and aggravation. Save $155 off with code CHAIR20. NordVPN, get advanced security, internet freedom, and complete privacy. Get 58% off the one-year plan with code STRONG1.
Defense Soap, the world's best soap for wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, and MMA athletes. Use code MMA Nuts for 15% off. Hey fans, it's MMA Nuts, episode 500.
Holy shit, 500!
My name's Ingo Weigel.
Matt Griffith, MMA show. My fans, for my fans, walk the line between serious and ridiculous. Ooh, look at that juicy C4.
I am toasting to you because I'm drinking this C4 Energy.
Yeah.
Which happens to be one of our sponsors. This is called Cotton Candy. Yum, yum. Of course, you can use our code INGO20 to get 20% off. You order at C4 Energy, right? This stuff's pretty good. They have stuff for the brain. They have stuff for the body. Maybe even stuff for the cack. I'm not sure. But
could potentially be.
They're a solid energy drink company, and they have a bunch of different supplements, so I like it.
And you won't go blind.
You won't go blind. I am extremely tired. That's why I'm drinking this, to wake myself up. But the show must go on, Matt.
Excellent. So how was Thanksgiving as we were off that week?
It was small and intimate. I was in my bathroom alone.
Just thinking about turkeys doing jiu-jitsu against each other.
Yeah. Not a couple of close relatives over and chilled. It was nice, relaxing. How about you?
Yeah, just small get together. My mom, my wife's parents, I cooked the turkey up and some other fixins. Got me gluten-free apple pie from a gluten-free dedicated bakery in Hinsdale, I believe.
How was that?
It's fucking awesome. That was probably the best pie I've had.
What is their ingredient they use? Do you know, instead of flour or whatever? Is it rice?
I think it was like potato flour and rice flour. It was kind of like, I think, a mix of three.
Okay.
But it was really good. So I don't usually gorge on the treats, so just a small slice of the apple pies.
You only had a small slice?
Yeah. And then we watched the Bears game the other day. I forgot to take any pictures when we were all over here. I'm like, fuck.
Driving home, when the medicine kicked in, that was one of the thoughts I had, was like, I think we didn't take photos. Were we supposed to take photos?
I feel like we should have, because we're in my garage. We got the projector with 120-inch screen. We got a fucking fire pit. Grilling sausages and steaks, and we're out there eating, drinking, smoking cigars, and we're watching the Bears get their asses kicked by the Packers. So we had to switch teams and root for the Packers for a little bit, so I didn't get fucking pissed off.
It was a routing, and
oh my god,
I don't think it's going to get any better. This is the year I decided to start rooting for the Bears.
Enjoy.
They're the worst team ever. I'm used to it though, because I used to be a Lions fan, and similar.
Yeah. It's like, what are you going to do? I mean, at least it's something to watch. I mean, I would prefer they spent all their money on offense, because it's way more interesting to watch 1,000 points being scored than 2 or whatever we scored. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. But that's part of the fun of hanging out. Like, if it's kind of like when we're watching UFCs, right? If it's shit, we're just shooting the shit anyway. So it's like most of the fucking game, we're just shooting the shit.
We're just talking. It's basically an excuse to get together and talk. And we either talk how bad things are or how great things are. That's kind of how it works. Somewhere in between. And let's talk about the big event from the weekend, if you don't mind.
Sure. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr.
With a combined age of 106 or something, isn't it? 7?
Yeah, I believe 54, 52.
Yeah, which is pretty crazy when you consider that the prime age of a boxer is probably in the mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
They could, So I wonder if those two guys versus 4 current boxers, like age versus age, total number. You think who do you think would win?
Not those guys.
Okay. Okay.
So I will just say that was a fucking shitty fight. It was so boring to watch that I had to turn it off because every exchange from Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. is either running away or holding on the entire fucking fight. And Tyson kept throwing body shots and barely going to the head. And like, man. And then it ends up in a draw, right? Shocking for a boxing match to be a draw.
Do they have to do it again?
God, I hope not. But, you know, I thought Tyson clearly won the fight. He looked pretty decent, for 54. I'm not going to complain, but what was your thoughts?
Well, it's funny because I watched the highlights first and I'm thinking, okay, this seems all right. And then when I started watching the actual fight, I realized that the highlights were like the little small exchanges was literally like 1/100th of the fight. There wasn't like telling a story. It was like that was the story. I'm like, much. Okay, boring. But I mean, I thought Tyson looked I don't know, pretty solid shape. I think was it Holyfield was talking about wanting to get in the mix there, and I wonder if that might make sense. I don't know. I thought Tyson looked good.
Yeah, it was an exhibition match, right? So it looked like they were both going out there and not trying to hurt each other. And I don't want to see that. I want to see you go out there and fucking rip each other's heads off. I want to see you raping dogs and eating children or whatever the shit he used to do back in the day.
Yes.
But
beating him into a living death.
Yeah, just all that stuff.
Yes.
And, it was weird because listening to the post-fight press conference, both of these guys. So Tyson is just saying he wanted to go the distance in this fight. He wasn't trying to get the finish. And then Roy Jones Jr. looks like he's going to fall asleep in the post. He's like, so tired. And he did look gassed out. And Tyson had a way better conditioning, so good for him. But Tyson also said he was a little contradictory because if you remember when he was back on Joe Rogan's podcast, he said, oh, I stopped smoking weed and blah, blah, blah. And at the post-fight press conference, he said he smoked a ton of weed for this fight, and he smoked right before the fight. So he's high as fuck when he was in the ring. Like, is that shit legal?
I don't know if that's legal, but could it be a marketing ploy? Do you think?
Well, the whole thing was sponsored by Weed Maps. That's all you saw was weed this and weed that, and potentially the worst broadcast team in the history of combat sports with Mauro Ranallo, who I fucking hate.
Yes. Snoop
Dogg, who I hate even more. And then Israel Adesanya, who barely said 2 words. And you're getting shit out of Snoop, who's saying, them look like 2 uncles fighting over the last rib. It's cookout. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, man? These are 2 legends in the sport. Like, I remember how shitty you were with Uriah Faber on the fucking Contender Series, and I wanted to kill myself listening to that shit. Yes. And then they bring this fucking guy back on to commentate on here. You can't do that. This isn't backyard brawl. This isn't bare knuckle fighting. Mm-hmm. Like, come on. You got to have some respect for the sport.
I got a lot of respect for that voice you just did. That was funny.
I don't know. That
in the back pocket. Slightly, but it was spot on. Yeah, I don't know. Snoop Dogg, it's like Snoop Dogg keeps trying to get his name into combat sports, and I don't know why he's doing that. So
he doesn't have the background in it, right?
No,
so that's the problem. And then after all this, do you want to see Mike Tyson fight again? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm with you because I think even Dana White hit the nail on the head. He said, hey, great for those guys to make $1 zillion, but I don't want to see 2 old guys throwing bones at each other. I want to see the best of the best. Like, I get it. It's like watching Tyson fight. It was interesting to see from just a curiosity perspective of what can a 54-year-old former, champion that was just fucking destroying people in 1 round. What does he look like when he hasn't boxed in 15 years?
Yeah.
So from a one-off, okay, I didn't like it. I don't ever want to see it again. I don't ever want to see it again.
Well, what he definitely proved is that it's still dangerous. So, out in public, don't want to fuck with that guy. But, in the ring, just not, he's twice the age that he should be to be fighting in his prime. So it's like it's not. I don't think it's humanly possible to be, you know, as good or even close to as good at his age.
No, and you should be trying to kill someone. If you're in there, try to kill the guy. Not like, let's just take it easy, and you know, little head movement, hit you in the body. I don't know. It's a hard pass. Hard pass. And then whoever that other guy was knocked somebody the fuck out. Who was it?
Jake Paul knocked out Nate Robinson.
Yeah, it was actually a slick knockout from the guy.
It was
the hit him, and then he jumped back, and then let the guy come in and hit him with the right, and then he went fucking face first down. So, like, at least there was a little bit of entertainment.
Well, Robinson got knocked down a couple times in that one, right? So, and Paul just kept nailing him with that right hand. So, but humble as always in victory, Paul. He says, "I might just be the new Floyd." So, what is your take on that?
Good luck. Well, here's a guy who wants to fight Conor McGregor and Dylan Dennis. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he wants to grapple Dylan Dennis. I mean, I think he's just calling out everybody, because I thought Ben Askren's name was thrown in there too. Like, you can't fucking strike with Askren and Dennis. If you want to grapple, fine, go with those guys. And Conor McGregor isn't going to waste his fucking time with you, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know if this is what the future of fighting is becoming. It's just like celebrity boxing shit like they used to do back in the day, but now it seems like it's way more glorified. Because if I say celebrity boxing, do any names come up in your head
for celebrity
way back
boxing?
in the day?
Names.
This is the one.
Wesley Snipes.
I don't know if he ever did
it. He box?
I remember Danny Bonaducci.
Okay.
When you say celebrity boxing, that's the name that came up. And I want to say he fought Donny Osmond.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it was like
correct.
Weird shit like that. But those guys had fucking like
they had beef.
Skills. But they did have beef, but no skills.
That's okay.
At least Paul's got some skills, so I'll give him that.
Yeah. But do you think MMA has jumped a shark with all this crazy promotion they're doing? It's almost like boxing is heading back in the right direction and MMA is heading in the boxing direction of old that caused it to kind of be in trouble.
I think it's boxing jumping the shark, because they're the ones why would you have a Tyson and Jones and have a YouTube guy on the same card?
Okay, I see what you're saying. For ratings?
Yeah, well, I think that's what your commentary booth was too. Like, why do you have Adesanya and Snoop Dogg on there and Morrow when you could have had boxing guys calling that fight? You're trying to bring in like everybody. And the one thing that we didn't hear is like, what were the pay-per-view sales? I haven't heard that anywhere yet.
Yeah, no clue.
Be interesting to see, because it sounds like it was pretty big. I mean, if there were a bunch of casual people watching that, over 2 million.
You think it's that much? I was going to say like 1.5 million maybe, but you think over 2?
Yeah, I think it was probably pretty big.
McGregor and Floyd did like 4, didn't they, or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 is not out of. Okay.
No, because they also priced it low. I want to say it was $39.99. It was either 39 or 49. So it's way under fucking UFC at 65, right?
Okay.
So you're gonna bring more people in, and name factor and whatever else they had going on. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens for the future. What else is happening?
Well, I got a photo for you.
Mr. Jon Jones.
Do you recognize this guy?
There's a color photo of that too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. The bottom's somewhat colored, but the top I couldn't find it.
Here, I got it.
Looking extremely swole on his way to heavyweight contention. He's a big boy. But you know, I always forget that his brothers are in the NFL. So it's available to him, I think, genetically to be bigger.
Yeah.
Because his brothers are such big dudes. Oh, good, nice. There you go.
So yeah, they're saying he's like fucking 240 now, but I don't know how much bigger that is than normal. Maybe he was 230. What's normal for Jones? 230?
Yeah. But I mean, 10 pounds, 15 pounds of muscle. I mean, that's a significant number.
Yeah, how does that happen? How do you put on another 10, 15 pounds of muscle when you're what, early 30s?
You have to lift a lot of weights, Matt.
It didn't work for me when I lifted a lot of weights. I actually lost weight in my 30s. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Huh.
He's got the best drugs available.
Oh,
potentially, allegedly.
Allegedly.
He is looking a little swole, though.
He is.
It'll be interesting to see. Like, is he gonna fight? Like, when does that guy fight? Because he's just been sitting on the sidelines forever.
Good point. I think maybe next spring or early or middle of this year. I think maybe he waits to fight till COVID passes. So
hold your breath. I don't know what that date is, but fucking Magic 8 Ball is nowhere to be seen. But I would guess June.
It's May 12th, 2021, official end of COVID.
Okay, I can fair deal with that. I think it was about 2021, middle of the year. That's my hope. Go back to normal. Get some vaccines out. I'm sure they're totally safe. It'll all work out.
This cotton candy smells delicious. My whole room smells like cotton candy.
Well, quit jerking off on the walls, man. Cotton candy, motherfucker!
Like the frothiness.
Yeah,
you guys are talking about the on Sunday.
I don't know.
Frothy. Oh my god.
That's from Will Smith. He's or Will Ferrell.
Will
One
Ferrell.
of them Wills. I don't know.
Okay.
It'll all work out. So there's some new fights announced. They said Max Holloway and Calvin Kattar. It should be a banger for January 16th. Better fight, Tony Ferguson and Charles Oliveira. UFC 256, December 12th, right around the corner. Okay. And then we've been getting a lot of guys testing positive for COVID. So Leon Edwards and Chimaev were supposed to fight. Now Edwards is out. He's got the COVID. So I think they have 3 weeks to kind of find Chimaev an opponent, which I think a lot of people were ducking that dude. Like, fuck that. I don't want to fight this guy. So hopefully they find him a fight in 3 weeks. But it seems like COVID's wrecking a bunch of shit here lately.
Yeah, football games keep getting postponed. Just
what was Brian saying? Like the Broncos, all their quarterbacks are on like a COVID list. So they had a wide receiver at quarterback, and I think he completed one pass the entire game.
Shockingly, they lost.
Yeah, imagine that.
And it doesn't even seem fair.
He said something like every other team that had players on the COVID list got their team game moved like multiple days, and for the Broncos, they're like, fuck you guys, you're playing. Well, that's fair. Just because they have a shitty record, so that's fucked up. But seems to be the thing now. Everyone's getting it, going around.
It is just like the.
That might be better. I don't know. What else is happening?
Jacare versus Kevin Holland is added to UFC 256.
See? Building it off of old people's names.
Yes. So that when the hell is that happening? Soon. Very soon. But I thought that was interesting because didn't Jacare have I couldn't remember didn't he have some health problems recently? Like with
I think he had elephantitis.
Of the ear balls.
Is that a thing anymore?
I don't know.
Well, wheelbarrow your balls around.
Yes. So I don't know. That's I failed to get excited about any MMA card this last few months because it seems like there's just not anything super exciting. We need people to start talking some shit or something. Like somebody
or have more fighters in the top 10 fighting each other. Because I look at like the card from this weekend, you might have like a number 4 guy versus 15 as the headliner, and then no other ranked opponents fighting each other like that. I don't want to see low end MMA. I want to see high end shit, and we're just not getting it right now. So it's weird.
They're holding their talent for bigger cards, or maybe the talent is holding for more money, you know? So
and I think they're just doing the quantity over quality because they have X amount of cards to fill for ESPN. So just put everybody in. put number 600 versus number 599 and have those fuckers headline.
Yes.
And then you have COVID pull a main event, and there goes your whole card again. So
yeah,
it's interesting. But
pretty bogus.
You see Anderson Silva, the UFC finally released him from his contract.
Yes, that happened. Yep.
Fucking almost every other promotion has passed on him. Bellator, ONE FC, and then I thought for sure he's going to be in bare knuckle, but then they passed on him. And then fucking Ryzen finally said, we're kind of interested. We'll talk to him. So why, I can't ever remember a time where a named fighter was not like the big ticket item for all these other guys. Like in the past, like say a year ago, Bellator would have swooped him up 100% of the time. Yeah. So why is everyone passing on him now?
Well, I think he might be asking for too much money. As far as I know, the last time I checked his numbers with the UFC, he was like near the top in money, getting paid like, the show and win or whatever, or, just even show. So I wonder if he's out there asking for so much money that nobody thinks he's worth it. So they're just like, nah, we're good.
Yeah, it could be, right? It's too expensive. And I would imagine COVID probably plays into that too, because if you don't have a live gate, do you really need the big star? Because it's really, you're not trying to draw people in from that standpoint. And I think if you have a contract with one of these television stations, again, it doesn't matter the quality of the card, it matters the quantity. Like, are you putting on an event? Yes. Okay, good. You get paid. So maybe these guys need to start putting some kind of stipulations into that. So you can't just stock a card with shitty fighters. Like you have to have some input, man.
Or at least if they give us something to frame it where it makes sense, like maybe they call 3 fights out of the month, like UFC, like seasons or something. So and then there's the card, which the card has all the big talent on it, maybe, but where it's the pay-per-view. And then we understand that it's like the other stuff is like builder stuff, like they're part of the roster, but it's not the Sunday night game, right? You're watching like the noon game that's like nobody watches. Like
but these cards now have become almost like if I'm watching baseball, I'm watching minor league shit. Like, I don't want to see minor league shit. I want the I want the pay-per-view event. I get you can't probably have that every time, but
no,
at least 50%. And now I feel their hitting percentage is probably like it's 1 out of 10 cards is like the good card now.
Yes.
So every 2.5 months you get a fucking really solid card. That's not a good batting average. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then I saw Rampage Jackson no longer with Bellator.
Oh, really? What happened?
Yeah, Coker said the company's going in a different direction. So I wonder if that's his last fight where he didn't even show up like in shape. I don't even think he trained. I don't know if that was him fighting Fedor, but I know his last fight, he was just not in fucking shape.
Nope.
And like, what is going on? And again, heading into a different direction, it's cheaper fighters and not named guys seems to be the name of the game right now.
More volume.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird too, because now we're also, here's all these guys that, we started watching UFC, or, I mean, I've been watching it from fucking UFC 1, but I'm saying like all these guys that have been around forever are phasing out of the sport. It's getting weird.
Super weird. To where you don't know anybody anymore, really.
Yeah, not on the level that you used to, right?
Well, I think it's also by design. They've depersonalized all these people, and their character. We used to know more about them, and as individuals, even just from you have something to root for when they have different colored trunks and stuff, and you go, "That's my guy." Like right?
That's the fucking Iceman with the blue shorts and his icicles. I get that.
You don't have that now. They all look similar. It's just they're trying to zoom you out. Maybe that was the plan. Speaking of which, they got us to stop focusing on the fighter so that we wouldn't notice that the fighters they're putting up for us are not the greatest anymore all the time.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It sounds like a perfect game plan by the UFC, because it's always about brand first, fighter second. When it's fighter first, fighter is what sells the fight, not the fucking organization.
Exactly.
So here's the thing I need to see stopped. GSP with hair. Please make this end.
He looks really dorky.
I don't like it. He's creepy as fuck like this. He's gonna come over and fuck me or something. I don't like it.
He looks happy though. Good
He's
for him.
happy, but hair on a GSP is not right.
Yeah, he looks like kind of. He looked like a tough dude, and then now he looks a little dorky. I'm like, no wonder he shaved his head because it's like this hair makes me look dorky.
Bald head, it's threatening. Or something. With my hat head.
How long have you been wearing your hat? Like 2 days?
An hour and a half. Maybe it's a little tight. Maybe my head is growing.
It looks
getting smarter as I get older. I don't know.
Hopefully,
something like that.
Upgrading yourself.
I'm trying to. No HGH though. So what else is going on?
I'm out of news for this week on that one.
Here is how to stop a fight. I'll pull this one up. So Cam Soda has been doing Fight Circus. I got to make sure I turn the volume off on this. Fight Circus 1 and 2, which is a lot of freak show type fights. It's kind of interesting. So here's how to stop a fight, apparently. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Break.
Fight Circus. So you should check out Fight Circus 1 and Fight Circus 2. They're both on YouTube. If you search them out, there's some fucking freak show shit. So I saw a 2 versus 1 fight where a bigger man fought 2 smaller ones at the same time, MMA rules.
Yeah.
And the 2 smaller men won that one. Then I saw a 3 versus 1 fight.
Okay.
3 guys fighting 1 dude. I don't remember who won, but that shit's interesting to me. I like some of this weird shit. Yeah, and the announcers were swearing, and I feel in that format, like a Snoop Dogg's okay.
Okay.
But it's this freak show. You can't be a fucking legends as a sport. If you're gonna have fucking 3 versus 1, you can have Snoop Dogg commentating. I'm okay.
Freak show's good.
But those guys are like, fuck this, fuck that guy, fuck him. I'm like, oh, okay. But it was worth a browse. I didn't watch all the fights. You just can fast forward
through it. All right, I'll check it out.
Fight Circus 1 and 2. Hopefully I'll catch the next one live. It's kind of interesting. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. Let's do a little tweet of the week. We have 4 options here. I'm not quite sure what the hell is going on, but here we go. So Just Bleed MMA tweeted this one out. He says, shout out to this Russian YouTube fight channel that has a dwarf versus a regular guy along with someone in a Conor McGregor costume. I think the most interesting thing to me here is the Conor McGregor Simpsons costume. Can we get mascot fights or something?
That's just ridiculous. Where does one even get that?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind wearing that and just run around my neighborhood.
This looks so ridiculous.
Put some rollerblades on and fucking rollerblade through the neighborhood. So that's one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Number 2. So over the weekend while we were out, Shogun fought Paul Craig and lost in the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
And during that fight, this happened.
Oh, a little oil check.
Shogun checked to Mr. Craig. And Rogan had asked him about it in the post-fight interview. He's like, hey, it looks like he oil checked you there. Did that piss you off? And Paul's response was, you got to take me to dinner before you try that shit, man. I'm like, okay. So you got that going on. Frank Mir, I don't remember him signing with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, but Bare Knuckle FC says we don't have a 265-pound weight limit for the heavyweights. Frank Mir going to town, man. And I think he's got a bottle of weed next. I don't know what the prescription is. And a big ass Coke. How many burgers is that? 1, 2,
like 7.
3, 4, 5, 6. Holy fuck. And bacon and cheese.
And lots of onions.
Fuck, now I'm getting hungry.
There's no way he can eat all that.
I don't know. Frank's a big dude. He might be able to.
That's a lot of food in your stomach. Holy crap.
Yeah. And coming out, it ain't going to be pleasant.
It's going to hurt, man.
So bad.
You're going to be like,
And here goes to Matt Rhino. When you eat too much turkey on Thanksgiving and knock out, fucking poor Ben Askren. He's the butt of many
Should have
jokes.
put the Bisbing in there too.
Ooh,
That would've
that's
been
coming next week.
classic.
And then the last one. Man, these keep getting more and more brutal. I don't know what's going on. Scientifically proven that couples who sleep together have longer marriages. Fucking Travis Brown and
that wins hands down. I like that.
Housey. Ouch. You know, they've been pretty quiet. You haven't heard shit from either of them lately.
Nope.
Last I heard, they were on their own ranch.
Making babies.
Yeah, I think so. And then what's with all the hate Brendan Schaub's been getting? Apparently, he put out a video for some UFC predictions, and he said Hermansson's going to win by second round decision. So I get that. Fights are typically 3 rounds. But the comments on the video that were like, because apparently he's putting some weight on. I don't.
Okay.
Like, wow, it looks like a lesbian aunt disappointed by her nephew's tattoos. Like comments about his
Do I need
look.
to Google him?
I don't know. Maybe. They said trying his best to look about 13 as a 40-year-old. This is his make-a-wish before he dies to chronic bee stings. Leave the poor kid alone. And Brendan looks like a lifeguard on a LGBTQ cruise ship in that vest. I mean, I think it was his below the belt. If you look for below the belt,
I found it.
you can just look at his latest video, and
I mean, he looks like a big
bloated.
dude. Like a big dude. I don't know if bloated is the correct word, but he definitely looks big.
His head's a little swollen. It's all right.
I wonder why his head would be swollen, Matt.
He's been eating a lot.
Uh-huh.
It's that pregnancy weight. Let's see what Heather Heat Hardy's up to. I gotta move right along. Feel like she's bracing for impact from something.
Oh, that's not bad.
Like something is about to get blasted on her. I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's what this world has come to, huh?
What?
Sell your body.
Well, it's all about what is it? The
Benjamins?
fans only fans. Maybe could be about the Benjamins. I want to make it rain. Maybe I should buy a gun, make it rain at the club. Let's do some AskTheNuts. Rodrigo Machado, close it out. It's time. # Nuts Roll, # Matt Rape Train, # Ingo Sugar Daddy. Would you rather be a kid your whole life or an adult your whole life?
Probably an adult, I would say, is more fun.
Why?
Because you can fuck.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, childhood is hit or miss with what you got, what kind of dice you rolled.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun to be a kid and have no responsibilities, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with the adult. I want to be the adult with the kid-like attitude that I try to retain. Would you rather go on a cruise with friends or with your spouse? And I'll add, or significant other. How's that?
Oh, that's tough. Well, could it be a trick question? Like if your significant other spouse is your friend also, then they would be able to come with the friends. That would be ideal, maybe. But I don't know. It depends. As long I would have a hard time choosing, except for if it was a small boat, then I would definitely not want to be with my friends. I just want to be alone. I just want to be alone and be in misery.
Yeah, I don't even know. Have you been on a cruise? Because that doesn't sound appealing to me at all.
I have been on a cruise. I was on my cruise on a cruise when I was still married, and I liked parts of it. But the thing that I hated is you're on a schedule. And you're always on the boat pretty much. So you'd get somewhere and be like, cool, this place is cool. But you only got 4 or 5 hours and then you got to go back on the boat. So I'm like, I prefer just to go somewhere and just explore that, have my feet on the ground.
Yeah, I hear that. That sounds like a lot of work.
The ship is huge. So it's like, it doesn't feel small. It's just, I don't know. I guess
I'd feel confined.
Sorry, I dodged that question.
It's half and half because it could potentially be good with friends. It could potentially be good with my wife. It just depends. Like sometimes it's one or the other, right?
Yes.
I don't feel like it's an either or.
Like if it was a hedonism cruise.
Then with friends. Would you rather lose your keys or your cell phone?
Probably my cell phone, because I could use my computer to communicate still and stuff. iPads, but
Yeah.
if I lose my keys, I can't drive.
It's called regular backups on the
Yes.
phone.
Yeah.
You set that up. I try to do it every couple weeks. Not always consistent, but you know, you can always run from a backup and be all right. You'd be all right. Keys are a fucking problem, especially some car keys. Like, you know, I have a 15-year-old daughter who we just bought my mom's old car from, and I wanted to get an extra key made, but it's got some weird chip in the fucking key. So it's not like you're just going to the store and having a key cut. You'd have to pay like $120 or more to get the key from the fucking dealer, because there's some weirdo chip in there, like an anti-theft bullshit
like a
thing.
fob, like a RFID or something weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my god, so stupid. So that's why you don't want to lose your key. I don't know. It's probably less expensive though, losing keys, but more painful. Would you rather eat a meal of cow tongue or octopus?
Is it cooked? If it's cooked, I'll take the octopus. If it's not cooked, I think it's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, I think I've eaten octopus. I've had calamari, right? Calamari is delicious. Right? You gotta go with octopus. That's delicious. All right, let's go to some fuck, marry, kill. Celebrity edition number 116. Wow. Girl Next Door types that have gone Hollywood. Number 4, you have Eva Mendes, Jennifer Garner, and Jennifer Lawrence. Let's see if I can find said thing. Ooh, I almost clicked the leave button. That would have been devastating.
You could have come back.
The kid comes right back in. All right, we start with Eva Mendes.
That's an interesting bra. Yep. It's not holding very much up.
No, I'm okay with this.
I like it.
Jennifer Garner, kind of a blurry picture.
She never was my thing.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Mary Mendez, Bang Lawrence, and Kill Garner. I think that's where I'm at.
Okay, I'm going to strike that and reverse this. I'm going to agree with Kill Gardner. I'm going to Bang Mendez and Mary Lawrence. One word.
You're so racist.
Dirty. No, I'm not. Why am I racist?
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Isn't your wife part Latin?
She's 50% Hispanic. How's that?
There you go.
I believe of the Mexican flavor. They're very spicy, by the way. Hey, speaking of spicy, you got any knowledge?
I do. While we're just talking for AskTheNuts, I'm trying to find this. Did you see the F1 crash over the weekend? Do you see that?
Potentially. Did a car rip in half and a guy walked away?
The guy walked away. I can't find good video of it. I don't want us to get sued or whatever. But
again, we don't need that.
No, but yeah, it was pretty much near the race start, and this fucker just goes off and he runs over another guy. He runs over another guy's tire and gets out of control, slams into the corner, and then a ball of fire immediately. And I'm going, holy shit, that dude's dead. Like, there's no way that guy. And so they have a video of him coming, they're rescuing him, and through the flames, like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, he climbs out, and he's in the hospital. I think he's got some burns on his hands and stuff, but overall, given what the car, half of it is gone. Like literally half the car disappeared.
Well, he's lucky he was in one half of that and not
the other
himself in one half of himself.
We don't
something.
Yeah. Well, I watch this shit sometimes, like on TV, and my son's really into it. And I don't realize until this shit happens how actually dangerous that job is, and how crazy you got to fucking be to do that for a living.
Yeah.
It's insane. So
yeah, that's a hard pass. I don't understand it. But at least do they drive more? It's not just an oval. They're going more
lots of turns.
swiggy.
Yeah, it's in their fast cars.
At least that would be more interesting than like fucking
watch.
NASCAR.
I don't think they have the crashes like that, all the time, and they definitely have crashes, but the cars are fairly safe. But wow, it's amazing that guy got out of there. I don't know.
Technology, man.
Yeah.
Elon Musk. They
Cybertruck.
should race electric cars, right?
That's what you should get, is a Cybertruck. I feel like you could be a guy who owns a Cybertruck.
I don't like the shape of that thing. It's ugly as fuck.
That's the whole point. You just
So
roll
stupid. It looks so stupid.
You're gonna just wait till you see him everywhere. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I hope that doesn't take off because that looks so dumb. Let's see. What do I have? Oh, Jesus. Let's share this. Did you see this? Pope Francis' Instagram account appears to like bikini model's photo. Apparently, Jesus Christ, with the pop-ups. He's putting likes on this chick's Instagram.
I mean, can you... Whoa. Can you blame him?
Liked by the Pope. So apparently there's some investigation going in. But why can't the Pope
I'm gonna have to
like
Google
a piece
this.
of ass?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
This is just what is it? Natya?
Yeah. NATAGATA.
Oh, it's really not hard to spell or anything.
No, not at all.
Huh. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well,
To all.
Whoa.
what was that?
I don't know. I think ads started playing.
Like, what?
I need to make it
Scared
stop.
me. Okay.
So you had that, and then along those lines, so apparently someone was decorating their house at Christmas time, and they want to play or spray Let It Snow on their windows, right? So it looks great when you put the LE on the side, and then the other part is tits now. That's my favorite.
Maybe that was intentional. That's too funny.
You know it was. Like, who's just gonna put the LE over here and then tits now? Tits now, lady.
No, not later. Now.
Yeah, right fucking now. That's what stat means in the hospital. Right fucking now.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave you with that.
Okay. I like it. You're out. Mic drop.
That's all I got.
Let the tits out. That's what I say.
Yes.
Well, that has been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. My name is Ingo Weigel.
Matt Griffith, thanks for playing.